The 2025 WNBA season is proving to be one for the history books. It's a year of breakout performances, legacy being rewritten, and underdogs stepping into the spotlight. Two stories in particular symbolize this shift: Veronica Burton's meteoric rise and A'ja Wilson etching her name further into the playoff record books. Today, we dig deep into what makes their stories so powerful, and why they're more than just individual achievements. They're signals that the league is evolving, maybe faster than many expected. Veronica Burton's story reads like a sports movie. A few seasons ago, she was on the fringes, playing limited minutes, shifting between teams, not quite sure where her role would settle. But in 2025, she exploded. Now playing for the Golden State Valkyries, she's been named the WNBA Most Improved Player, winning 68 out of 72 votes. The numbers tell a dramatic story. She jumped from averaging under 4 points, under 2 assists, under 2 rebounds per game to posting career highs across the board, nearly 12 points, 6 assists, and 4+ rebounds. Her steals are up. Her court presence is unmistakable. That's impressive on its own, but what makes Burton's rise even more remarkable is why it matters to the broader league. The Valkyries are an expansion team. To have a player redefine herself so quickly and help a newly formed franchise reach the playoffs in its first year, it tells you something about the changing depth in the WNBA. It tells you that opportunity is coming faster, and that player development is sharpening. It's not just stars from dominant teams making headlines, it's players on new squads, players who were once overlooked, showing that the margin between role player and game changer is narrowing. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson has been quietly, or maybe not so quietly, reinforcing her status as one of the greats. Recently in the playoffs, she surpassed Angel McCoughtry to move into 10th place on the WNBA's all-time playoff scoring list. She did it with a dominant performance in Game 1, pouring in 29 points, helping lead the Las Vegas Aces to a victory over the Seattle Storm. What do these two narratives, Burton's breakout and Wilson's legacy, tell us when we view them together? They reflect WNBA in 2025, a league honoring its legends and rising stars in equal measure. They tell us fans are getting more storylines than ever. Upsets, breakthroughs, consistency, and records all at once. Burton's rise gives hope and energy. Wilson's benchmarks give context, tradition, and a measuring stick for the next generation. Let's analyze the impact. First, momentum and viewership. The WNBA is riding high in terms of fan engagement. Attendance, viewership, social media chatter, all of it is up. Even when high-profile stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese missed time or had uneven stretches this season, the league overall has not just endured, it's grown. More games are being watched, more people are tuning in, and more eyes are discovering stars they might not have known before. These stories are feeding that growth. Burton's breakout is a human interest win. Fans love underdog stories. Wilson's milestone appeals to history lovers. Second, the expansion effect. With expansion teams entering and new franchises building from scratch, there's more room for stories like Veronica Burton's. Expansion teams tend to have looser expectations, so when they succeed, it's more noticeable. Golden State making the playoffs in its first year, helped along by Burton's development, sets a precedent. It raises the bar for future expansion squads and forces older teams to re-examine what is possible in terms of roster building and player development. Third, legacy and records get bigger. With players like Wilson keeping pace in the record books, it reminds everyone that the WNBA has its own rich history, and that history continues to be built. People who followed the league for years will remember McCoughtry, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi. Now they see Wilson creating her own milestones. It elevates the expectations. When a player reaches November-December in their career, fans will look not just at their current impact but at where they stand in history. Fourth, player stories that connect. Burton's transformation, from a player not regularly starting to a key contributor, is inspiring for players, coaches, and fans alike. It validates the idea that hard work plus the right opportunity equals success. For young players, for fans who follow the benchwarmers, this kind of story matters. It's not just about the superstars. The league is giving space for others to shine, and Wilson's continued dominance, through ups and downs, shows what consistency, professionalism, and talent together yield. But there are also questions, challenges, and tensions. Can the momentum be sustained? Expansion teams often struggle to maintain consistency. Will there be pressure on the league to further balance competition, avoid too much disparity? What happens if injuries spike, or if more key players miss time? Also, how will legacy players stay motivated when younger names are rising rapidly? Will the stars of tomorrow maintain the respect for players like Wilson who are writing the history pages now? Finally, the broader implications. I think what 2025 shows is that the WNBA is nearing a turning point. It's not just about the number of fans or money, though both are growing. It's about the narrative arcs. It's about depth. It's about noticing bench players, expansion teams, rising stars, and seasoned giants all playing significant roles. The stories are richer, the stakes are high in more places, the league feels more dynamic. So what should fans be looking for next? Watch how Golden State Valkyries build on this season. Will Veronica Burton now be seen as a star rather than a surprise? Will the organizational support around her grow so she can sustain that peak? Also, watch A'ja Wilson, how close she can get to climbing higher in the playoff scoring ranks, and what other records she might set. And keep an eye on how the playoffs unfold, which underdogs rise, which legacy teams hold strong, and whether the rising star narratives multiply. Because if 2025 is any preview of what's to come, the WNBA won't just be a league people watch. It'll be something people feel, something they invest in, emotionally. Breakouts like Burton and milestones like Wilson's aren't just entertainment, they're turning points. And for any fan, for anyone who wants to understand where women's basketball is headed, paying attention to these stories is essential. That's what makes this season different. That's why creatives, media, and fans all have something to be excited about. Because the best stories are still being written. And with stars rising and legends maintaining their ground, the WNBA in 2025 is not just changing, it's arriving.